Once upon a time, in a large monastery in China, there lived around 500 monks who dedicated themselves to the path of self-realization under their master. One day, a man arrived at the monastery seeking to become a disciple. He approached the Zen master and expressed his desire to know himself and discover the truth. The Zen master gazed at him and responded, "If you truly wish to uncover the truth, you must be willing to risk your entire life. It may take a lifetime of dedication to attain it, and there are no guarantees that you will achieve this in your current existence. Are you prepared for such a commitment?" The disciple replied, "Sir, I have come here with the intention to persevere. I am ready for this journey." The master nodded and said, "If that is your resolve, then I will give you a task. In this monastery there are 500 monks. Your duty will be to pound rice for their food." The young man embarked on his assigned task, faithfully pounding rice as instructed. With 500 disciples in the monastery, the demand for food was constant. Therefore, he would rise early each morning and diligently pound the rice until nightfall. Continuously beat the rice from morning till evening, and when you grow tired, rest and resume pounding upon waking in the morning. Focus solely on this task. Do not engage in anything else or let your thoughts wander. Follow this path diligently and refrain from seeking me out. I will come to you when necessary. He would then fall asleep in the same room, without engaging in conversation or allowing others to disturb him. During the initial months, numerous thoughts flooded his mind as he pounded the rice. However, when thoughts lack new subjects, they gradually fade away on their own. Slowly but surely, his incessant thoughts began to subside. After a few years, he even forgot his own name. He maintained silence and pounded rice in a state free from thoughts. He neither meditated nor read any scriptures. The chief disciples of the monastery regarded him as insignificant and inferior to them. 12 years passed. Then one day the Zen master announced that his time was approaching its end, and he needed to select his successor. He invited any disciple who had attained self-realization to inscribe a few lines on his door at night, lines that encapsulated their entire experience. Many disciples contemplated participating in this invitation. One of the chief disciples, considered knowledgeable in Buddhist scriptures, approached the door and wrote a response. The other disciples believed he was the likely successor due to his extensive wisdom. His line stated, "The mind is like a mirror upon which the dust of thoughts and desires accumulates. Meditation serves as the sweeping to clear this dust. The one whose dust has been cleared and whose mind's mirror has become pristine has attained salvation." Upon waking and seeing these lines, the master became furious. He exclaimed, "Which idiot wrote this garbage on my wall?" Although the chief disciple remained silent, his lines contained wisdom derived from books rather than true realization. As he was uncertain about their correctness, he did not sign his name below the lines. Consequently, the master completely dismissed those words. This unexpected reaction surprised everyone in the monastery, and the incident became the subject of discussion. While conversing about the matter, 2 disciples passed by the rice pounder, who had arrived 12 years ago and dedicated himself to pounding rice day and night. He chuckled softly upon hearing their conversation. Curious, the disciples asked him why he laughed. Amidst their perception of him as an insignificant monk who never read scriptures or engaged in meditation, they found his laughter perplexing. They questioned him further, and he responded, "I laughed because the master is right. Those lines are indeed meaningless. They hold no value." The disciples were taken aback and asked him if he could write better lines than the chief disciple. The rice pounder replied, "Well, I am illiterate, so I cannot write, but I can offer a few lines, and if you can transcribe them, I am willing to accompany you." They agreed and approached the master's room. The rice pounder recited the lines, and the other disciple wrote them on the wall, inscribing "rice pounder" beneath them. They anticipated a similar reaction from the master, that he would reject it as well. Yet, the lines he spoke were extraordinary. It read, "The mind is but an illusion. There is no mind, nor is there a mirror of the mind. And when the mind ceases to exist, where will the dust settle? The one who realizes this has found the truth." Upon seeing these lines, the master arose in the middle of the night, awakened the young rice pounder from his slumber, and said, "Take this,
Take my staff, and take my robe. From this day forth, you are my successor. However, leave this monastery immediately and go far away. I know that many scholars within this monastery consider themselves superior to you. They will seek to harm you because they cannot bear the fact that a simple rice pounder has attained enlightenment while they have not. You have gained all that I possess, and you achieved it through pounding rice. Moreover, I know that wherever you go, people will be drawn to you, for when a flower blossoms, its fragrance permeates the surroundings. The rice pounder humbly bowed before his master, touched his feet, and departed that very night. In our own lives, if we observe closely, we will find that many individuals believe meditation can only be practiced by sitting still with closed eyes. However, this notion is far from the truth. Meditation can be integrated into our actions, even while walking or engaging in work. True meditation means being so fully immersed in whatever we are doing that we lose awareness of our physical self, just like the rice pounder who became completely absorbed in pounding rice, devoid of self-consciousness. One day, he achieved self-realization through this state of complete engagement. Likewise, Zen encourages us to live in the present moment, without incessant thinking, because the mind exists solely in the presence of thoughts. When thoughts cease to arise, the mind dissipates, leaving only our pure essence. In fact, we need not adopt any additional spiritual practices to know our true nature. We simply need to be completely absorbed in whatever we do, so engrossed that our work becomes meditation,